Happy Thursday, chat. Welcome, everyone. I know I missed you guys too. Yesterday was a very hectic day, but we are back at it today again. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a lying door dasher by the nose. I got your nose, bitch. Got your nose. We're going to be talking about Molly, the door dasher, Molly McMeth, as I like to call her. But you should be PC, Nika. I don't feel like it, okay? I don't feel like being PC when it comes to Molly. She's been pretty sus. Okay, we have all seen the interviews that she's done with Moscow PD. The way she comes across in all these interviews, liar, liar, liar. I'm sorry, what? What? I didn't hear anything. Hello. Hello, Peruvian Claudia. Hey, Sleuthy Kitty. Hey, Kellyanne. Hey, Rex. Hey, Sally. Hey, Nadine. I forgot to tell Nadine I was going live. Someone tell Nadine. It's been hectic, guys. Let's talk about Molly. Because Rex, I think she's lying. Now, Dylan Mortensen, Molly Meth, everyone else has come across, in my personal opinion, and these are my personal opinions, these are for entertainment purposes only. Okay? These people have come across as sketchy. First of all, don't even get me started on the roommates, survivors, on the roommates, right? Because when you are a survivor and you claim to be asleep, and now all of the records, unredacted, released, unleashed onto all of us, now that we have access to them, guess what? You're awake. That should be the biggest red flag ever. I don't understand why people are not questioning this, right? Question everything, trust no one, right, Rex? Right, Sleuthy Kitty? Right, Sally? Right, Kellyanne? Right, Peruvian Claudia? You should question that. When people tell you they were sound asleep and then you find out that they were not, big fucking red flag, bitch. I'm just saying. And when it comes to Molly, when it comes to Dylan, okay, they've all already got caught lying, right? We have access now to the unredacted DoorDash order, semi-unredacted. Okay, at 3:54 in the morning, the DoorDasher, which is Molly, receives a text from the customer in which that text said, "Are you having trouble finding it?" What is it? What is it, Rise? Hello, Rise. Hello, Nadine. I'm glad you made it. Are you having trouble finding it? Now, I want to go ahead and clarify it because I've talked about that before. Of course, one would immediately assume that it could be anything. Most people are going to assume that it refers to the house. The text received said, "Are you having trouble finding it?" It doesn't say, "Are you having trouble finding the house?" It could be anything. Now, at 3:51 in the morning, the DoorDash driver, Molly McMeth, is on the camera walking around trying to find the King Road house. Because according to Molly and the statement she gave to Moscow Police Department, she allegedly had a hard time finding the house. Okay, we see her fucking around with a flashlight trying to find this house. Allegedly is what she told cops, that it was the house. But I'm sorry, I just don't trust her, right? Again, when you look at this house, the address is right fucking there, Molly. It's right fucking there. You couldn't see the big old 1122? Nobody should miss it. It also had every single light in the house was on, right? Welcome, Bonnie Mervin, 8006. How do you miss it, Molly? Did you actually miss a house or were you looking for something else? What were you looking for? We know Molly has really odd ties with some of the rug dealers. She has a whole record, right? She has witnessed some crazy shit. Okay. But here she's fucking around with a flashlight, can't find the house. The house is lit up like a damn Christmas tree. She can't find the house. Also, had lights not only inside but outside the house. So surely Molly should have actually had zero issues finding this house, especially since everyone that was questioned around this case, every young adult that was questioned regarding the narrative, wanted to make it seem like, oh, everyone was sound asleep at this time. Everyone was sound asleep. Nobody else was awake during this time. There were no other lights on at any other house. So again, 1122 King Road should have been very, very easy to find. Again, Molly told the cops what? Oh, that she had a hard time finding the house. But what Molly failed to do is that she did not tell the cops that she actually got a text from the customer, right? I wonder why. I wonder why she failed to mention that to cops. Then she received the text at 3:54 in the morning. And what did this text say? Are you having trouble finding it? 3:56 in the morning until 4 in the morning, you see what I believe that are multiple cars going back and forth. There's actually quite a bit of activity going on. Again, everyone else, all the young adults questioned, what did they say? Everything was quiet. It was so dead. There was nothing going on, no movement, but there's actually a lot of activity, a lot of vehicles passing back and forth. And then at 3:59 in the morning, the order is confirmed as delivered. Again, Dylan Morrison at 3:51 in the morning is adding a brand new contact to her phone at 3 morning, and at exactly 3:51 in Molly's doing. Molly is lollygagging, walking around trying to allegedly find the King Road house. At 3:54 in the morning, Molly then receives a text from a customer saying, "Are you having trouble finding it?" And again, 3:59, the order is confirmed to be delivered. Now, yes, we have theorized before, did Molly deliver something else besides food? Because again, we've heard rumors regarding this house that allegedly this was a rug home. Obviously, some of the young adults that were questioned regarding Xana and other people that lived at 1122 King Road, what did they say? Yes, this was a rug home. Yes, a lot of people use Adderall and other things, allegedly, potentially. So did Molly deliver something more than just food? I mean, it's possible. Is it possible that maybe there was an exchange? The fact that it says it could be anything, right? It didn't say the house. It says it. Are you having trouble finding it? Which, again, what does that do for us? Why does it matter? Because it can open a whole lot of doors to us. It can open up a lot more scenarios and options that maybe she was actually trying to find something instead of just trying to deliver food. So I also wanted to point out, because we have assumed that this order was placed by the customer, to mention the customer, which we assumed that was Xana, right? We assumed that was Xana. But everything in this document going around Xana's name is completely redacted, which I personally find strange, right? Why is everything redacted? If it's a customer, and if the customer was actually Xana Kernodal, why would they redact her name? Because we have seen her name unredacted in basically every other document, right? This would not actually make any sense. And that is an observation that I think a lot of people have missed, because if they are unredacting the information of the customer, is it possible that maybe somebody else who placed that order, there's another person we may not know about? Is that possible? Right? Now, Dylan Morrison claimed she was sleeping. Remember that. And then Dylan claimed that she tried going back to sleep. because she saw something, but she didn't know what she saw. But then we find out years later that she is full of shit, that Dylan Morrison is full of shit, that she was actually fucking around on her phone active from 5 a.m. until 6:30. So again, I'm tired of the guilters, but Dylan, but Bethany could never, they could never. I don't know. I'm not suggesting that they did anything or have anything to do with this case. All I'm saying is that yes, we've caught them in several lies, and yes, that should be a red flag. Okay? That should be a red flag to anyone. She's out here creating, editing, deleting images, deleting videos on her phone. And don't get me started on Bethany. Because yeah, Bethany, we don't talk a lot about her, but Bethany, in my opinion, kind of got a golden ticket, did she not? She got to go back and disappear and kind of fall off the face of the earth, right? And what did they say? Oh, that if she went back to Idaho, she would be arrested, right? Bethany at 8:01 in the morning, what is she doing? What is Bethany doing? Again, these girls are supposedly sleeping. Just want to do a quick refresher here. At 8:01, she's calling mom. 8:02, she's calling mom. At 8:09, dad calls Bethany. From 8:41 in the morning until 8:42 in the morning, Bethany Funk is taking pictures on her fucking iPhone, okay? She's taking fucking pictures. So again, yeah, can you sense my frustration? Can you sense my US Navy sailor mouth coming out? Because I'm frustrated because people are still 3+ years defending these two girls. And again, we are not saying that they unalived, that they had anything to do. What we are saying is that they fucking lied from day one. And that's a big red flag. 10 o'clock to 10:01, Dylan Morrison is sending messages. She's got incoming messages, outgoing messages on Snapchat. From 10:03 to 10:04, Dylan is then on fucking Indeed. She was on Indeed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so scared for my life that I must go to Indeed and fuck with my resume? Look for a job? What is somebody who is supposedly so afraid for her life doing on Indeed at that time? Okay. Yeah. She's so afraid. She just absolutely needs to be on Indeed looking for jobs. Bro, are you serious right now? Oh, Nadine, girl, don't get me started. Bethany having such bad toothaches, but eating chips. Exactly, right? Exactly. Hey, Don, welcome back. Hello, Denny. Hello, John. John says, Molly, the only person unable to see the house number. It's the only house in Queen Road with an obviously visible number. Exactly, but she can't see it, right? Again, this is someone I think that we should look into and ask more questions. We have Dylan Mortensen on fucking Indeed, taking pictures on Snapchat, no 911 call that had been made. And then at around 11:40, Dylan's father texts Dylan about a time to chat. And do you want to know who responded to that text? Guess who responded to that text? It was Dylan. It was Dylan. And guess what Dylan said in that text? I know what she didn't say. I would think that if you are that afraid for your life, you're so scared, you're on Indeed, you're about to FaceTime daddy, you're texting daddy for time to FaceTime each other, that you would maybe mention, Dad, please call 911. Dad, I'm a little bit scared. Dad, there's something off at 1122 King Road. Because I don't know what happened in my house. I don't know what's going on at 1122 King Road. I saw a suspicious masked man. Okay. No. What does Dylan do instead? What does Dylan do instead? Dylan goes back on fucking social media. That's what Dylan does. Just what Dylan does best. I'm not on mute. The same Dylan Morrison that said when the cops arrived on scene and in her interrogation just a couple days later that she saw, I saw a man. I saw a man exiting out the sliding door around the 4 o'clock time frame. And then if you actually saw that at 4 a.m., but you're still going to stay in the house for hours and hours and hours, right? You're going to stay there on hours. Okay. With no attempt to make a call. No attempt to call the cops. Okay? Everyone can hear me fine. Perfect. I have tea, guys. Spearmint. So, Dylan, you saw a man exit out the sliding door around 4 a.m., right? But you stayed in that house for hours on end. But you went on social media, but you edited pictures, but you were on Snapchat, but you were on Indeed, but you had the option because you were texting your father. You had the option to ask him for help or ask him to call 911, but instead you just keep fucking around on social media. Interesting. Interesting. 4 people, 4 human beings that were allegedly her best friends, just got brutally unalived. I don't want to go into the details about the autopsy reports, but come on now. By this time, 3 years in, we already know. Ethan was carved like a damn turkey. Literally. Girls had marks throughout their bodies, concussions, missing teeth, all kinds of shit. Cracked skulls. 4 people had been brutally unalived. And no, this woman's just chilling on fucking Indeed. She's on Snapchat. She's on Instagram. Incoming and outgoing messages. Okay. This is the same Dylan Morrison that we were told was too intoxicated. She was so afraid. She was so intoxicated and so afraid for her life. But you were not intoxicated enough to run to Bethany's room, right? We know that you ran past the fucking front door. You told us you saw Xana. And now we know all the fucking lights were on. So you must have seen some red fluid, but instead you were basically, that's what you did, in my opinion. Okay? When you're running to Bethany's room, and you're passing through and you see Xana on the floor, and now we know all the lights are on, and you still did fucking nothing. In my opinion, that was a big fuck you to the IDAHO4. But that's just my personal opinion. She was too scared for her life. She was too intoxicated, but was on Indeed. You decided to stay in that house with bodies that had been unalive for hours. And all of us already know when you have 4 bodies that have been in that house, the stench is going to be unbearable. Unbearable. You're going to smell iron, copper, feces, urine, a body rotting. So I'm tired of them trying to make it seem like it was a quiet night in Moscow. Things like this don't happen in Moscow. In fact, it sounds like it was the exact fucking opposite. Everything was active. There was a lot of activity. Everything was loud. All of the lights were on. We are this close to figuring out who Dylan actually added as a contact to her phone at 3:51 in the morning. And for those of you who don't know what type of food was delivered, it was Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. And I don't know if I need to remind you guys, but there are several Jacks, in my opinion, that could be potentially prime suspects in this case. We have Jack DeCore, who is Kaylee's on and off boyfriend, and they were close, allegedly. We see him at the bar near Kaylee, right before her unaliving. Okay. This is the same Jack that tried to paint a picture to his roommate that he was going to get back together with Kaylee eventually. Okay. This is the same Jack that when Dylan is giving her a little performance outside when she's being interrogated by the cops, doesn't even bat his eyes. Like, he doesn't even ask, is Kaylee okay? Can I go inside? What happened to Kaylee? 0 questions. Nothing. As Dylan is mentioning that there was a man in the house, what do we see Jack D doing? He's just standing there chilling with the rest of his friends. I thought that was very odd behavior. And let's not forget Jack Rogers. Jack Rogers, Showalter. Is that Papa Rogers? Okay, this is the same Jack who was chilling by the grub truck. Okay, the same Jack that's one of the last people to be seen with the girls right before they're unalived. The same Jack that when he called and gave his statement to police said, the other lady. I'm sorry. Her fucking name is Kaylee, and you know that. So why are you pretending? Okay. The same Jack that said he drove 5+ hours to his family's cabin right after the unaliving happened, around that time. Okay. The same Jack that had red fluid all over his apartment. How is there red fluid all up in your apartment if you drove 5 hours right after the crime was committed to the cabin? How did that get there? Okay. The same Jack that was in the same fraternity as Ethan, but got kicked out. Why did he get kicked out? Remember, he had anger issues. He had deep rage issues. This is the same Jack that got caught putting carcasses on another fraternity's lawn. In my personal opinion, he sounds a little fucked up. He sounds a little bit unstable. But what do I know? I only have a master's degree in psychology, a 4.0. A little crazy. Okay. The same Jack that said goodbye to the girls. But when we actually watch the footage closely, the girls actually come across as like they're ditching him. And they don't say goodbye to him at all. He walks off. Okay. The same Jack that is talking to people all over the grub truck. But as soon as he notices that the girls are getting ready to leave, he just walks away to go drive 5+ hours to his family's cabin while he's intoxicated, by the way. This is the same Jack that was seen standing right next to Chief Fry at the bar. And I know that people have said that wasn't Chief Fry. I'm sorry. That's your opinion. My opinion is that that man that is seen standing at that at the bar, that's fucking Chief Fry. He even puts his hand the same way that Chief Fry typically does so, in his pant pocket. Okay? He's standing right next to him, just a couple feet away from Chief Fry, a couple feet away from Kaylee, from Maddie, from Jack DeCore. The food that got delivered was Jack in the Box. And I agree with you, Rise. It just makes me feel like if you aren't asking questions, this goes for Jack, the parents, etc., means to me that they already have the answers. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. DJ Latebra, Jack D was asking for bottle of water while sitting in the police car. And this is just my point of view, but if I'm remembering my days of when I was young and my days of being hungover, I find it very hard to believe that they went that long without using the bathroom, without getting a glass of water, because they wouldn't have had access to a bathroom without seeing any of the deceased, right? Also, I've had somebody commented and reached out to me that said DoorDash and Uber Eats driver here. You can see addresses if you put your brights on and drive slowly. I work evenings. It is not safe or a quick option to walk around to find a house. Most of us would get back into our hot cars and drive, especially during a frigid winter. Another point is that the houses are all white with black numbers, which are very, very visible. The only places I walk around are apartments, but everyone is different and some people are liars. I totally agree with this DoorDash driver, right? And what did Molly McMethy say? I worked 18 hours. And then Brett Payne, is that normal for you? Good God. That interview all on its own was insane. That was a very sketchy interview, in my opinion, right? I was cackling. Like, what are you talking about? He was literally like narrating his whole life, which is weird. Having trouble finding it could signify a variety of things, but something tells me that Molly McMeth has delivered there before, right? And just throw it out there before I go for the day. Was she delivering rugs? Again, just a few months after the IDAHO4, we had that giant raid of the Aryans, which run the state basically. And what are the Aryans known for? The Aryans are basically a Caucasian cartel that move rugs, people, and weapons, right? The largest drug bust. One of the largest drug busts ever. So let me know what you thought of this video. Please, guys, if you can vote in not the chat, vote in the comment section after the stream ends. Let me know your thoughts. If you think that Molly Meth was weird, and if you think that it's possible that the it was something besides the house, that she was having trouble finding it, do you think it could refer to something else? If you think it can refer to something else, please leave one. If you think she was just looking for the house, although it's plain as day, all the lights are on, she's walking around the building with a flashlight, it's weird, leave it too. Leave it too. Thank you guys for joining me in today's live. Stay safe and see you guys soon. Take care.